an instrumental part of Agora worldwide, Agora worldwide, Agora worldwide. Counter economics, Agorist strip, black market click, move a quick flip, can't regulate this. Agorist strip, black market click, move a quick flip, can't regulate this. Agorist,
Agorist,
Agorist, Nexus, Agorist.
This is the Agorist Nexus podcast. I'm Brandon. I've got my great co-host Dag with me. How you doing, Dag?
I'm doing excellent, dude. How you doing?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. Sun's shining, so you know.
Oh man, it's already getting warm over here. I just got me a new chicken incubator today. I'm eager to go play with too. So that'll be cool.
Nice.
Yeah. Been productive around the farm here recently. So that's exciting. So we've got a little bit of a news episode for y'all today. Before we get into it though, let's go ahead and give a big fat shout out to our sponsor, Presearch. Really spectacular decentralized search engine. No spying, no censorship. They got a cool crypto coin program. So really cool. Definitely check it out, y'all.
Yeah, definitely. And you could switch between search engines. I mean, it's such a great, and it's not littered with ads like Google is now. Like you do Google search and you've got like 7 ad things on there, and you've just got one ad at the top, and it's people who keyword stake with the pre-token. So
it's people who believe in the project. So that's pretty cool. Right? I feel like it's been getting a little better here recently. We should probably get Colin on again to talk about anything they got going on, because I definitely feel like it's been getting better here too.
Yeah,
so
like their search algorithms like really smooth now, and they're always improving. They've even got dark mode now, so
I didn't know that.
And you earn crypto for searching, so it's kind of a no-brainer, right? And then on top of that, they believe in Agorist Nexus, like they sponsored us directly, so
yeah, they're helping bring you guys all the great content that you expect.
Yeah, I mean, they're it helps fund our writers and all that, so yeah, it's just been really nice, and huge thanks to Colin and Presearch on that. And we want to talk about another sponsor real quick too, Agorist Acres. They also help out the Nexus in terms of content. They're great. Buy seats. No KYC. You can buy it with crypto.
Yeah. Get a place to spend some of those crypto gains, or you can pay it, regular dough too. But if you do get anything from them, make sure you use the code Nexus10 and you get a 10% discount, and the Nexus will get a donation as well. So definitely check them out. Adding new stuff all the time. Got some cool stuff for spring, so get with it.
Yeah, but with that said, we wanted to talk about the Crypto 6, and we didn't want to do an episode right off the bat, like as soon as it happened, because we didn't really feel like all the information was released. And, it's so easy nowadays just to make like a clickbaity story and try to be the first one and get all these, get all of the attention for it at first. Like it's really easy to do that, right? But we just wanted to give you guys the full story, as much information on it as possible.
Yeah, at least what's out there now. The first couple of days there was just a video that was going around from one of the I'm not even sure who it was, but one of the people who was kind of involved with these folks, and it was like when the raid was happening, and he was filming, and it was just a lot of the local police lieutenant guy pushing him back, sounded like a fucking teacher. He's like, I told you to get back there behind that line, you better listen. You're acting like a child. Yeah, David, shut up, But yeah, basically pushing him back where he couldn't film anything or whatever, of what was going on. And that's crazy. Like, I'll try and find a video and link to it. But yeah, man, they had 50 dudes in camo, out there with rifles and everything doing this raid. Really crazy. But I guess before we get into that, maybe we should just give a basic overview of what happened in case you guys hadn't heard.
Well, I wanted to, and definitely stick around because we're also going to go. It's kind of a crypto-y episode, like, so we're also going to go into a little bit of LRBY.
Yeah, they
But
got some shit going on.
but I really wanted to thank some, our hardcore listeners uh, that listen, because they're out there. I see the statistics and stuff, right? That listen to every episode, and we've got a little nice loyal following, and I really want to thank all the loyal listeners out there. So
Yeah, thanks for taking the time, and make sure to get with us on like Keybase or something. And interact with us. Let us know what you want to hear. Let us know what you want to, you know, let us know what you want out of this, and we will oblige the best we can.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and we just, even if you don't have any feedback for us and you just want to hang, chat with us or hang out with us or whatever, do that. And
come talk homesteading with me. Let's do that.
Yeah, Dag's
let me help
Dag's
get your
great at
garden
that.
done. Yeah.
And if anybody does want to support the Nexus and you can't donate or anything, that's perfectly fine. There's all these free ways to do it. We've got a whole bunch of like affiliate links on our site when you read articles and stuff. And to sign up for any of that stuff, it's for, most of it's like free to do it. So, and doing that will help support us for free too. So.
Yeah, and if you only know us from the podcast and you haven't been to the site, agoristnexus.com, check it out. Tons of great articles, really awesome writers that are released very regularly. Seems like we've been dropping a lot recently. And then there's also a directory. So if you have any businesses that you want to list, feel free to do that. You can holler at me or Brandon and we'll do it for you. Just get with us if you want to get something on there. And if you're looking to spend your money with a liberty-minded business, go on there and check it out and see what all's on there. There's a really good variety of products and services. So, go over there and check that out. We're bad about plugging it. I noticed it the other day. I was like, we really should say that every episode and we don't. So
yeah,
we'll get better, guys. I promise.
Yeah. But yeah, with all that out of the way, let's talk Crypto 6, Dag. What do we got on these? We got a couple articles that we want to share with you guys. What do we got, Dag?
Yes. So basically there was a SWAT raid, but it was multiple agencies that were doing this on these folks. I mean, were they just saying the Crypto 6 because they were like the 6 people that got arrested? This wasn't necessarily a group of people that called themselves that, but they're activists in New Hampshire, in Keene. They're some of the folks who run Free Talk Live, which I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard of. Radio show. And they got raided by all sorts of people for, Bitcoin stuff. Money laundering is essentially what seems to be the main charge, although I really haven't found a good list of charges.
Who they got raided by the FBI and the IRS, and
they got raided by, I've got a list here. I thought I did. Why am I so terrible at this? Okay. Yes, it's the FBI, the IRS, local police. We're helping them. We're helping the alphabet agencies. FBI, IRS, U.S. Treasury Department. Like, okay, here it is. County sheriff, FBI, ATF, IRS, and the U.S. Treasury. We're all here participating in this raid of these people. Let's also keep in mind that there have been nobody's been harmed. All nonviolent offenses. There's been no complaints of fraud. Like, nobody's saying that they have been defrauded or anything. Nobody's been harmed, nothing like that. So victimless nonsense, But basically, they had what was called the Bitcoin Embassy, and they would trade cash for BCH. So you could come in, give them cash, they'd sell you BCH, or probably vice versa too. And I guess that's illegal. Which, it's considered like money laundering, I guess, in a lot of instances. I've read other stories of people being arrested for doing that. So, if you're doing that, do your due diligence and be aware. But it seems like, this happens with people who are very big. Like, I guess the FBI has been watching these people for like 5 years for all this. So it's really ridiculous. You know, and the show of force that they did. I mean, they're smashing windows. It was, you know, early morning raid, breaking into people's homes, guys. I mean, with fucking guns. I mean, this is insane. There's actually from okay, so the main guy who got arrested is his name's Freeman, Ian Freeman. He's 40, and yeah, I mean, he's facing like a minimum of 10 years, which is really crazy. But I think like 6 people were actually arrested, most of which have been released, most of which actually not charged. One of them was his girlfriend, who was released a couple hours later. And it's really crazy. Like, she's telling the story that, like, you know, they were sleeping, you know, she was naked, and they basically made her walk out of the house naked, you know, wouldn't let her get dressed or anything, threatening to shoot her, you know, when she tried to put clothes on. Like, really just terrible, dude. Like, I mean,
they made her slip on shoes that had glass on them, and
yeah, after making her walk through broken glass without shoes. Yeah, I mean, it's just, I mean, you'd think that these were, you know, dangerous criminals that they were coming into a, you know, to apprehend. The amount of ease that they do SWAT raids is really disturbing, you know, for stuff like this. You know, that you could do that to somebody, that you think it's okay to burst into somebody's house, damage their property, point guns in their face in the middle of the night. And of course, if they do anything other than follow orders to a T, you know, you fucking shoot them. I don't know about you, dude, but if something terrible wakes me up in the middle of the night, I'm not necessarily with it. You know what I mean? If I had a flashlight and somebody yelling shit in my face, I can't promise that I could even comprehend what they were saying and follow directions, even if I wanted to, you know? So I don't know. It's really disturbing.
Well, I mean, my dog would definitely let me know personally, and
your dog definitely would.
and I would have a gun ready, and, you know, I wouldn't even care if he screamed police or not, because the thing is that even a criminal who's breaking into your house, if he gets, you know, if somebody's like, who is it, and he's like, police, and he's like, stealing your shit, you know, even a robber can say police right off the bat. Like, you don't really know. It's happened. Yeah. You know, you don't really know who it is. That, you know, anybody can scream police. So, but yeah, I mean, I would have a gun ready. You know, I don't care who it is. I'm gonna protect my family, and you know, I wouldn't know who you know, at that late at night, I wouldn't know who it was. So
yeah, and like you said, I mean, do you even believe, you know, whoever it is? You know, I mean, it's really, and I mean, if there is an argument made for like SWAT raids, you know, I mean, you could say, okay, an immediate danger thing, or, you know, somebody who's like they're really sure is like dangerous and killing people, right? But when it's just like this nonviolent shit, or like bench warrants, you know. And then, I mean, to make matters worse, like that one thing in Dallas that happened, gosh, probably like a year or two ago now. It was plainclothes officers, and they you know, they bursted in, and I mean, again, you yell cop, but they're in plain clothes. Like, wear a damn uniform, you know, wear a SWAT outfit, something, you know. I mean, really, what do you expect when you're like, just for if you're a cop and that's your own goddamn safety, you know? Why are you going to do that in plain clothes? Like, that just seems ridiculous. To do anything other than straight undercover work, you know, in plain clothes, it just seems retarded. Like, that just seems like you're asking for trouble. You know, it seems like you're asking to be shot at. Really ridiculous. And the incident I'm talking about, which is really crazy. Oh gosh, I do not remember the name of the people who were involved, but basically, like, the main, like, officer, and a lot of the other cops involved actually got, like, arrested. They basically they killed this couple and their dog, and said that they had, like, you know, they were suspected of selling heroin or something. Turns out the whole thing was completely fabricated. The family of the victims hired a private investigator, and, like, they went there, and, like, they hadn't even cleaned up the crime scene. Like, there's, like, shells laying all over, you know, shotgun shells, and it was just blatantly obvious that the cops who were injured in the raid had shot each other. They were shooting from outside the house into the home through windows and walls. Really crazy. And now it's something like hundreds of people have been arrested by this group of police. are now getting released from jail, getting their charges dropped, getting their records expunged because they're like, okay, these guys were total liars. And actually, to tie this in with something really crazy, George Floyd, we all remember that from the summer, when he got arrested in Texas and did like 5 years for like home invasion or something, it was these cops who arrested him. If he hadn't have gotten murdered this summer in Minneapolis, he probably would have been getting like a big fat fucking false imprisonment lawsuit for this incident. I'm not saying that he was murdered on purpose because of that, but it's just crazy how shit ties together, you know. Crazy coincidence. Sorry to get so far off topic there, but SWAT raids get me heated. So anyhow, cut back to the story though. A couple things that they found in the house: $120,000 in a safe, $1.5 million worth of Bitcoin, which I don't know what they're ever going to do with that. You know, they say they seized it, but I mean, you know, if they don't have the keys, they didn't see shit. 26 guns, thousands of rounds of ammunition, which of course, you know, some of us might not think is that big of a deal or even that much. But the newspaper cops like to act like it is. One thing it says in this article that I'm reading from, after it says 26 guns, thousands of rounds of ammunition, is the home is close to a charter middle school. And then that's it. So I guess they're just leading you to believe that those guns could go off any moment and, you know, kill all the children. But I doubt that would happen.
Yeah. Guns kill people.
No, they don't. I do. But basically, in this article, yeah, there's a bunch of people who are protesting outside the police department here, and they're really upset that the police department was helping the feds in this operation. You know, if the city police didn't think that there was anything wrong going on there, you know, why did they agree to help? I'm not shocked. I'm sure none of you guys are either that they would do that. And I also just want to point out, this is New Hampshire. This is supposed to be the Free State Project. This is supposed to be, you know, where all the liberty-minded people are moving to change things from the inside. And maybe in some ways things are cool there, but in a lot of ways they're not. I've actually heard a lot of really negative things about the Free State Project, how they're just becoming kind of statists. I don't know though, so you know, who am I to say? But
well, I don't think that's the. I think everything with the Free State Project's good. I just,
well, they're trying to use statism to fix the problem, and I just don't see that as being the right solution. And I wish them all the fucking luck in the world. By all means, fucking make it happen, guys. If you can make New Hampshire be free or more free, or help your family be more free, fucking do it. I'm not knocking it. I'm really not.
Well, I mean, but the name Free State, like you can't have a free state, you know, and you can't.
It is a bit of an oxymoron, isn't it?
Yeah, you can't use, and you're right. Yeah, you can't try to use the state to gain more freedom because that's never going to work. But the New Hampshire police, I mean, there's always been grim stories. Like they're not friendly. And a lot of people who've moved there for the Free State Project have been, have told me stories personally about how bad the New Hampshire police are. And you know, it just kind of shows you, like, no matter what you do to try to change things and use their system to change things and create a culture, and get with your local authorities or whatnot and try to fix things, that the local authorities are still going to work with the FBI. They're still going to do the FBI or the federal government's bidding. So,
Yep, they sure will, and they'll do it. I mean, they fucking brought in a tank for this, like what's it called, like a Bearcat, like an armored vehicle, like a tank thing. I was watching the video. They fucking like jammed it in the side of the building, like in Waco when they were like breaking holes in the wall and shooting the tear gas in there. You know, they're doing like the same shit here. Like, for fucking what, dude? They were seizing computers and shit. You know? Oh man, it's just disgusting.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very alarming because it's like, if they can do that for this, like you know, what else are they going to be able to get away with? And it seems like nowadays they're not going to be able to, you know, they'll be able to get away with whatever they want. If they can do stuff like this, they can do whatever they want. And the thing too is that the Crypto 6, they were doing things like legitly. Like they had a church set up so that they could be tax exempt, and it even shows you, like, even if you try to work within their system and do things legitimately, that that they're still going to be able to raid and imprison you and take you to court. And it seems like our court system is or quote unquote legal system is gets worse by the day. It's more like China in terms of the fact that the conviction rate is getting ever higher. That
especially on the federal level. Federal level, it's ridiculous. The feds are really slimy, and it really gets like really gets very like Soviet style with its. I mean, 99% of the population of the United States is criminals, just because there's so many laws that it's basically they wait till they find you. Okay, let's get this person. I don't like this person. Let's find the crime, and there always is, no matter who you are. Great book, Three Felonies a Day. If you haven't read it, goes into a lot of that. Talks a lot about how the feds, they get you on some trumped up charges, and then they just get plea deals. They're like, look, you can fight it in court and you're facing 50 years, or you can plea out for 4. And even if you're innocent, I mean, you're going to at least highly consider taking that plea, because that's just such a huge chunk of life, that you'd be losing. So it's really dirty the way they do that shit, for sure, man. And actually, like this dude, I think he's facing like 10 years minimum, up to fucking life in prison for no victims, no violence, no theft. It's really disgusting. It's almost like a raw situation, in that regard. But so what do you think here, man? Like, because it even said they've been watching them for like 5 years. Do you think that this is because just crypto is getting so insanely popular, or at least, and when I say popular, I don't necessarily mean in the sense that so many people hold it, but like it's in the news, it's just going to be such a big thing, and so many new people are hearing about it. Do you think that this is maybe them just trying to show a little bit of force? Maybe they're going to start trying to do some regulations, and this is just sort of try to get people to think, oh man, maybe I better stay in line, or maybe even get more normies to be afraid of crypto, because they're looking, man, look at this raid. They must have been some real criminals, they must have been doing bad stuff, money laundering. I mean, how does it even say it in this article? He says Freeman is charged with laundering money using his using his churches and the Mezzo's Reformed Satanic Temple as part of a multi-million-dollar scheme. Freeman, 40, is charged with operating a multi-million-dollar Bitcoin exchange business that facilitated money laundering from scammers across the country. Like, it's just a given that the people he was dealing with were scammers. Like, who the fuck says that? Was there any evidence of that? There doesn't appear to be. They're just trying to paint anybody who does this sort of stuff in like a negative light. So, a long way around, my question to you is, do you think that this was just coincidence, or do you think this is just because it's getting popular, or what are your thoughts?
Well, and to comment about what you said, I mean, even the media is already taking a side and already saying, these scammers, even when there's no, like, they don't provide any sources or evidence for any of it. And so even the media is like already deciding who's right and who's wrong here, which should be like a huge eye opener to everyone who looks at this. But
all right, guys, we got to take a break real quick and give a big shout out to our sponsors, Devault Cryptocurrency, ticker symbol DVT. Really excellent coin, a lot of cool features, working on privacy with Terraform. And what else they got going on over there, Brandon?
They're coming out with DeFi, and it's a proof of work coin, but you can stake it. And you're like, well, what does that even mean? Basically, you stake it and you get, it's like think of it as like interest, right? Like how a bank would do it, except except it's not a bank. You hold it, nobody can touch it, and you're getting interest off of it, which is great. And it's super easy. Like, you would think this would be complicated. It's super easy. You can stake. It took me 2 seconds, and even my grandma could figure that out. So I was super impressed with the innovations on this coin, with how super easy it was to stake it and get interest from it. And yeah, with such a small cap coin, their team is so innovative. We definitely could see great things coming out of this coin. So check it out. Not financial advice, but they're definitely worth looking at. So yeah, with that said, we'll get on with it. But yeah, I think that 2016, I had said that, and this was it was 2017. 2017, I had said on a Facebook page I used to run, and I had said that that the feds later on will be more aggressive on crypto, and that they will use the legal system. They'll tax it more, they'll regulate it more, they'll do all these things to make it extremely hard, because they hate competition. And I was right. And we're seeing more crackdowns. We're seeing them use the SEC to say that people are that people that certain cryptos or services are securities or whatnot, like LRBY, and we'll get into LRBY a little later. But everything I said was true, and it's I'm not trying to say that I'm that I was like that I had a crystal ball or anything, or that I was saying anything special, but it's just kind of obvious, like that's just the way that government's going to go, and they're going to go in that direction.
So then here's the question: is that a good thing? Is it a good, because that would mean that A, they're probably kind of scared. B, it means they're probably threatened in some way by it, which means that it probably does, it probably does really fight the banking cartel, and how obviously we need to be smart about it, but we knew something like this was coming. So what do we do as people who use cryptocurrency to protect ourselves? Or do we just need to start being more careful? What do you think?
Man, that's a tough question. So yeah, it just kind of shows you that you're not going to be able to work within their system to be able to get out of taxes. You can try to set up a church, you can try to do all these tax exemptions, but whether when it's not going to matter. Like, if they want to come after you, they're going to come after you. And even if you try to do everything legitimately in their eyes. So I think what we have to do is get crypto anonymously, right? Or pseudonymously. And you can do that in multiple different ways. And even if you get it in your name, what you do is you trade whatever crypto. Like, if you get Bitcoin Cash, right, for instance, you can trade it on like the Cake wallet, right? And then what I would do is, well, not what I would do, because I would, of course, I would never do this, but what
I might do if
what
I was
some,
trying to.
what somebody might do is they might take their Bitcoin Cash and use the Cake wallet to trade it for Monero. and then take that Monero, trade it back for Bitcoin Cash, and then you can cash fusion it. And that would be and then the crypto that was in your name is long gone, and you got hacked, and you made a mistake with your crypto, and that's the end of it. And so
when are they, you're not, when you sell it is when you would allegedly take profits, and then that's when you'd be required to pay taxes. So if you just buy it and it just disappears, then there's not really anything there then, right? I know you're not a lawyer. Fuck you,
I'm not a I'm not a crypto tax expert, but I'm hearing that you can, I don't know, right? Like
those things, even my accountant doesn't know anything about crypto yet, so it's
most
hard to get
accountants
good
don't
info on shit like
Yeah.
this. Yeah,
We need to,
even the government doesn't really know what their laws are yet, so there's not really many people you could ask.
even though we're an Agorist show, we should get like a crypto tax expert on, just so that they can kind of
and
help us
this is
try
something
to.
This is something I always said. If you want to be a good criminal, you need to know the laws. You need to know how the. I'm not saying we're criminals, but I'm just saying, like, you need to know the law. You need to understand how it works. You need to understand how police work. Just ignoring something because like you don't believe in it isn't necessarily going to keep you out of jail, right? If you're gonna sell something illegal, like you should probably know how they tend to bust people. You should probably know what the laws are so you can alleviate your risks. If it's having a pound of something is 1 year and having 1.1 pounds of something is 20 years, you might want to adjust how you do things so you wouldn't typically have a certain amount on you at a certain time, right? So what I'm saying, there's absolutely nothing wrong with having somebody like that on here, even though we're an Agorist show, because we should know how to protect ourselves. We should definitely look into that.
Yeah, definitely. And I don't know like how much good it's really going to do, because I mean, again, like I said, even if you try to work within their system or whatnot, you still could be. I mean, if they want to burn you, they're going to burn you no matter what. And I think it's going to get to the point where eventually they're just going to start going after libertarians and anarchists and Agorist eventually, right? Like that's just kind of how governments work. They're going to they're going to try to squash dissent or anybody that's speaking out against them. So
they continuously try to make us look bad and dangerous. And who was the guy after the 6th? He was like, oh yeah, the terrorists and the white supremacists and the libertarians and this and that. And we're like, what the fuck? He was like a politician or something, I think.
Yeah, how can you even put libertarians in the same categories as these other people?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So but yeah, so I mean, I'm hopefully like, it's like there's got to be like, it's like we got to like lay low, but then like when there's enough of us that it's like, fuck, they can't arrest all of us, then we got to stand up for each other. But I don't know, man, that's tough. I don't know if we're to that point yet. The sedition, subversion, and sabotage field manual talks a lot about that kind of stuff. Like there's got to be like the above board people, people who they got to be like clean and squeaky, who they're the outspoken ones, in the liberty movement. And then there's the, the other people got to be like, like it's a multi-pronged approach, and there's got to be the people who are a little more under the radar, who keep the counter economy moving and stuff. And it's a good book, you guys should check it out. Liberty Under Attack Publications has it on there. We had Shane Radliff on recently talking about that kind of stuff, so definitely check that out, guys. Did we have anything else on this story, Brandon? Do we want to throw out those links for people to donate, or did you have anything else you wanted to go over on this before we move on?
Yeah, and it's called if you guys want to donate, you can donate to the crypto6.com with any kind of crypto that you want. If you do Bitcoin Cash, make sure you at least cash fusion it, right?
Hey, you might not want to be linked to donating to to this incident.
Yeah, because the feds will go after anybody who donates to their stuff. So make sure you donate in Monero or Cash Fusion, Bitcoin Cash. The other ones I see on there, like Dash and Litecoin and BTC, and Ethereum, they're not really private. So I don't personally recommend that anybody donate with those. But if you want a Cash Fusion, Bitcoin Cash, or donate with Monero, I think that would be, probably fine. I mean, with Cash Fusion, I mean, it shuffles it up like as there are as many atoms in the whole entire known, and I say known, universe. So
that blows my mind.
Yeah, it's going to be extremely hard, like almost impossible to figure it out. I mean, unless we've got quantum computing. I mean, quantum computing will be able to crack that one day, but hopefully we'll have other systems by the time that anyone starts using that. But yeah, so it's the crypto6.com. They've got the little like intro video there. And were there any other details that we wanted to share about this?
Did I mention?
I mean, bless his soul for setting up churches and stuff, and avoiding all these taxes, and
they confiscated a bunch of Bitcoin ATMs that were tied to him that were in different places in New Hampshire. So like places that were like at bars or something, they confiscated the crypto ATMs. Supposedly people were asking for warrants and they weren't showing them warrants when they were confiscating them or stealing them, so I don't know, man. Shit like that. It's still a little fresh, but it looked like we finally had enough to get out and talk about it. So otherwise it looks like, let's see, 2 people are still locked up. Freeman is locked up. They're trying to get him out, and then a gentleman that goes by the name of Nobody, I guess, refused his hearing, and so he's in there until trial. And supposedly everybody else was released. It doesn't say much about charges on anybody. It just says money laundering for him. It's almost like they don't have a lot of it worked out yet, because it doesn't even necessarily. I can't even find like a specific charge other than it sort of says money laundering, and that's it. And I've read several articles about it, so I don't really know what's going on yet. A few other people got arrested.
You're going to ram a tank. You're going to ram a tank in the side of somebody's house for money laundering, like with like multiple government agencies and 100 men with guns. Like it's it just shows you what the state is here.
Yeah, I mean, do you think they'd at least have, like, at that point, have some shit figured out, have a good list? Here's what we're charging him with. Here's what he did. Here's the fucking proof, So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know if I was even going to accuse anybody of anything, like, I would not feel comfortable until I had, like, an airtight thing, So.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I guess that's all I got on it, man.
Yeah, me too. And I do want to say, they're absolute heroes in terms of like early crypto evangelism and getting around all these taxes and stuff. Just absolute heroes. So shout out to Free Talk Live and everybody associated with it, and big thank you to those guys. So hopefully they can get out of it. I think they freeze some funds so that they can't get lawyers and stuff, of course. Of course the state's going to freeze your bank account, so you can't defend against them. So yeah, that's where donating crypto to their legal stuff is very important.
Hide your
Um,
120 grand better too. Like they're going for the safe when they come for you, so you need that lawyer money. Or I'm sorry, $180,000. I misspoke. Yeah,
sure. And
you keep 2 grand in the safe and you bury the other 178,000. Guys, come on, this is day one stuff.
right. Yeah. So we should get into LRBY then. If we
Yes,
don't,
we should. Ooh, let me pull up my email that I got from them, or unless you have yours handy.
I don't
Um,
know.
yeah, it actually Ben, Liberty Hippie Ben had posted about this on his Keybase. And then I go check my email to check it. But basically, I guess the SEC, the Security and Exchange Commission, for anybody who doesn't know, has been giving them some flack. So basically, like we can trade, crypto and stuff because it's considered it's not considered a currency like legally, because we're only allowed to have one of those, and it's not considered a security legally.
But the SEC's trying to be like, oh, it's a security now.
Yeah, so when it's a security, then they have to do KYC. So that's like why when you buy off like a big exchange, they have to go by the same rules as like a stock exchange does. Which is why you have to do the KYC, your ID, all that good stuff. So basically, they're trying to do this to LBRY, and if you don't know, LBRY or Odysee is a really great what would you call it? A YouTube, but better. It's a decentralized video and content platform, and they have a crypto token that it works off of. So you can use crypto tokens to post stuff. You get crypto tokens for watching stuff. You can monetize your content by charging crypto tokens for people to watch it. So there's a lot of really cool stuff that you can do with it. But yeah, I guess they're trying to call it a security, and Library is putting up a lot of money and a lot of energy to try and fight this. And I don't know, man, it's really unfortunate because we were just really trying to, anytime, we get some cool way to solve these, solve these problems that people bitch about. We they got to come in and fuck with us like this. But they never engaged in an ICO, which I guess is typically something that goes along with being a security. But I don't know, man. It seems like they're still fighting with this. So yeah, I mean, I guess that's about all that I know about this one so far. But yeah, I mean, if the SEC tries to do this to everybody, they're basically going to, like they say in this email that I got from them, the SEC's inequitable complaint and the relief it seeks threaten to destroy the blockchain industry as we know it. Which, yeah, I mean, if every time somebody comes out with a new blockchain business, they're going to try and fuck with them. Yeah, that's going to make things pretty difficult on us. So again, man, whenever you look at something, they try to fucking stop. It's like, okay, there's something good here. Because why else would they be trying to stop it? So
yeah, and here's the thing too, is that it's the same thing. Like LRBY, they were like, okay, this is legally not a security, so legally this is what we're going to do. And again, they were trying to work within their system, and again, government doesn't care. It's like these bastards, like, we're just going to change the rules. We'll move the goalposts, and and they'll do that every single time. They don't even follow their own rules. They don't even follow their own doctrine. Like, every single police agency out there today disrespects the Second Amendment, because they'll enforce gun laws all day. Try walking around with a fully automatic weapon, and and then try to tell the police that there's
around with a weapon.
Yeah. And try to tell the police that that your law shall not be infringed, and see how far that goes, But so they don't even follow their own rules. But when you try to work within their rules and their laws, it just shows you that they'll just completely ignore that and you know, move the goalpost or not
And
care
especially-
or change or even change the rules.
with guns is like, it's so frustrating too, talking to like my you know, back the blue friends, because it's like, you know, I've said things like yeah, you're like, who do you think's gonna take the guns? I'm like, no, they wouldn't. The military wouldn't do that, not the police. And I'm like, the police do it every fucking day. They enforce the gun laws on the books. Why would you think they wouldn't if they added more gun laws? You know, but they do it every day. They confiscate weapons from people because the government says they shouldn't have them. You know, I had somebody say like our sheriff, oh, he's going to make this county a Second Amendment or sanctuary. I'm like, oh, I'll be able to get a fully automatic gun. And like, well, no. I'm like, oh, so he's going to enforce every gun law that exists? Yeah. Well, then what the fuck does that even mean? You know, a 2A sanctuary. You know, like, come on, dude. So yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah, and it just kind of shows you like it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter if you try to play by the rules, they'll burn you. So you have to develop systems where they don't know who it is who's setting it up, and it is completely decentralized, and they won't be able to shut it down, and they don't know who it is, and those are kind of the systems that you have to kind of build, just like Satoshi did with when he made Bitcoin in 2009. So
So I'm not much of a petition guy, but there is a petition for a library that they're doing. So we'll link to that. But there is a petition if you guys want to sign it. Looks like, wow, 10,358 people. 59 people have already signed. 60. Oh, Jesus Christ. So a lot of people are signing this apparently. I'm just watching the ticker just go. So we'll link to that. So yeah, if you guys
like
if you guys
I'm
want to
not
sign
much
it
of
or
a
whatever, go
I'm not
for it.
much of a petition guy either, but because I don't believe that you should have to like beg the state to like why do I need to beg? Like you're not even legitimate, so like why am I going to beg you or say that this is like essential? But I did sign the Free Ross petition because it's like we need to try to do everything we can to get him out.
I mean,
You know?
really, like, what effort does it take to sign a petition? You know, so it's like, you know, hey, I'll give it a shot. And it's not like the same thing as voting, where it's like a status act either. You know, it's like, hey, we're here. We're not waiting for a vote. We're saying this is what we want. And you know, I mean, it is true that, you know, there's a lot of times where they propose, you know, the state proposes something that they want to do, and they get a lot of pushback from, you know, people, and they just shelf it for a while. They never completely ditch it. They try to bring it back a few years later. But the point is that they do, you know, sometimes when the populace is loud enough, because ultimately, I mean, rulers rule. I mean, like, we don't, you know, claim this like, oh, the consent of the governed, but I mean, really, like, they have to have some sort of, well, it's okay enough, you know, because there are a lot more of us than there are of them. So, you know, you know, if sometimes if people are loud enough, they sort of back off of something. So, you know, hey, it might not hurt, but I'm not going to judge somebody for signing or not signing, because I understand both sides.
Right.
So, but yeah, we'll link to that, and then I don't know. That's about all I got on that one right now, man.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I got. Okay, I've got a good quote here.
All right, lay it on me.
When plunder becomes a way of life for a group of men in a society, over the course of time, they create for themselves a legal system that authorizes it and a moral code that glorifies it. Frederick Bastiat, Agorist Nexus out.
Peace.